Okay. Welcome to the May 20th, 2025 Finance Committee meeting. A couple of housekeeping items. Please make sure that your cell phones and other electronic devices are muted and on silent. And if you're online, also make sure that they're muted as well. When making public comments, clearly identify yourself, state your name and who you represent, and everything does go through the chair. We do follow Robert's Rules of Order, and simply approach the podium, hit the button there, state your name, who you represent, and then make your public comment. If you're doing it through Zoom, please raise your hand and like so state your name and who you represent. At this meeting, no additional business items will be discussed. Following the completion of the agenda, we're just going to focus on the agenda. Madam Clerk, can you please read the first item on the agenda?
Number 6A, application for a restaurant liquor license filed with the city clerk's office for Fox and Friends Incorporated, doing business as Spice Zone Indian Restaurant, 600 West 19th Street, Cheyenne, Wyoming.
Staff report, please.
Kylie Soden, City Clerk. The item before you is an application for a restaurant liquor license for Fox and Friends, Inc., doing business as Spice Zone Indian Restaurant, 600 West 19th Street. The application has been reviewed by applicable city departments and the Wyoming Liquor Division, and requirements for the application have been met, and I can answer any questions you may have.
All right, thank you, ma'am. Any questions from the committee? Any questions? Okay, any further public comment on this item? Do we have any on Zoom, Madam Chair? All right, I will entertain a motion, please.
Motion to approve. Second.
Okay, it's been moved by Councilman Esquibel, seconded by Councilman Roybal. Any further discussions? Okay, all those opposed say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, it will be the recommendation on Monday's meeting to approve this agenda item. Next item, please, Madam Clerk.
Number 11, ordinance second reading, approving and establishing revised water and sewer rates, tap and system development fees, administrative fees, service charges and penalties, and septic and commercial waste dump rates as recommended by the Board of Public Utilities.
Staff report, please.
Brad Bowen, Administration Division Manager for Cheyenne Board of Public Utilities. Mr. Chairman and Committee, in front of you is the annual city ordinance associated with BOP's rates. Included in that ordinance would be the water rate increase on the base fee for 3/4 and 5/8 meters at $3. On the sewer side, the base service fee increase at $2 on 3/4 and 5/8 meters. On both of those, other rates have been adjusted accordingly to the same percentage as the smaller meters. The system development fees for the water and sewer side have both been increased by an inflationary increase of 4%. Administrative fees have been reviewed for market internal costs associated, and adjustments have been made accordingly. And on the septic dump rates, increases have been at a 4% inflationary increase. Happy to answer any questions.
All right, thank you. Are there any questions from members of the committee? I have a question. Thank you for your testimony. I wanted to ask, what have been our constituents saying about these proposed increases? Have they reached out to you? Like, what's been their perspective and reactions?
We have not had any public comment during our board meetings when our board approved the rates.
Thank you. Go ahead.
Just a comment about the rates and things like that. I think it was 2014 or 15. We had been kicking the can down the road on raising rates for probably 5, 6, 7, 8 years, and we had to raise them 8% for, I think it was 5 years, or 4 or 5 years to reach a place where we could live with it. So this 1%, 2%, I think, is keeping up with inflation is a good thing.
Okay, any other comments or questions? All right, thank you, sir. Any further public comments?
Mr. Chair, members of the committee, my name is Seth Lloyd. I'm with the Planning and Development Department. Last year, there was some discussion with the Affordable Housing Task Force about delaying the payment of system development fees, which payment timing is in this ordinance. They are currently charged at time of building permit. There was some discussion about moving that to certificate of occupancy. However, the Board of Public, after last year, The Board of Public Utilities met with the Development Department and the Affordable Housing Task Force on that item. There was discussions about the pros and cons of moving those system development fees to a different time. And it was mutually reached the conclusion that it would be better just go ahead and keep it at its current timing. I just wanted to follow up with you guys, just in case you remembered that conversation and wondered where it went off to and why things haven't changed. That conversation did happen, and the conclusion reached was to not change the timing of system development fees and to leave them at time of building permit. Thank you.
Yep, thank you for the information. Any questions or comments? All right, any further public comment in the room? Madam Clerk, any online? Okay, I'll entertain a motion.
Move to approve on second reading.
Second.
Okay, it has been moved by Councilman Roybal, seconded by Councilman Escabel. Any further discussion?
Mr. Chair,
Yes, sir.
for those who attended or maybe even didn't attend the water summit, what we look at for the future of water supplies for us is it was very eye-opening experience for us. And you know, we got to be proactive with everything we're doing with water. It's the most valuable resource we have, and we don't have water, we cease to exist. So I'm just going to encourage everybody to try and conserve as much as they possibly can and realize that the things we're doing with rate increases are to provide that service.
All right, thank you. Any further comment? Okay, all those approved, say aye.
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 All those opposed, nay. Okay, it will be recommended at Monday's meeting that this will pass. Next item on the agenda, Madam Clerk.
Number 17, resolution authorizing the mayor to execute a memorandum of understanding with Cheyenne Frontier Days Incorporated for the provision of public safety services during the annual Cheyenne Frontier Days event.
Staff report, please. Good afternoon.
Mr. Chairman, John Brody, City Attorney. Kind of pitch hitting here, but this is just an update to the annual MOU that we've had for Cheyenne Frontier Days to cover the expenses for CPD, for the police department to provide safety services. So what this effectively does is maintain that same MOU, but increase the amount that the city receives in response for providing those public safety services. I'm happy to answer any questions.
All right. Any questions? Go ahead, sir.
Through you. This is a 5-year MOU.
Yes, sir, I believe so.
Okay.
Any further questions or comments? All right. Thank you, Mr. Brody. Anybody else? Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Chairman Moody, Dr. Michelle Aldrich, City Council Ward 3 representative. I'm just curious if someone might be able to answer on page 2 under item paragraph 4. There's a comment that says the city shall ensure that the cost for providing public safety services meets or exceeds the total amount paid by CFD each year. And just wondering why we would who is monitoring whether we're exceeding that amount. And if we're exceeding that total amount, where the difference is coming from.
All right, thank you. If anybody would like to answer that question, please, for Dr. Aldrich. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Mr. Chairman, Captain David James, Cheyenne Police Department. I can't speak on why the language is in there, but I mean, it makes sense because we don't want to charge Frontier Days if we don't spend that amount of money, then we'd be having them pay for services that they're not receiving. But I can tell you right now, last year at the park alone, the Cheyenne Police Department spent $117,000. So it's not, I mean, it's really nice to have some help from Frontier Days to cover that, but it's in our budget as a line item, general fund that was approved, and we got the same amount again this year. Thinking that hopefully looking at the attendance levels, we'll probably have about the same amount of overtime.
All right, thank you, sir. Any questions? All right, thank you. Mr. Brody.
Yeah, Mr. Chairman, John Brody, City Attorney. Just provide a little context. That was part of the conversations we had with Frontier Days, is that prior drafts of the MOU kind of left an ambiguity of what the obligation was of the city for providing public safety services via the amount of money that we receive. So that language was really just prophylactic in nature to say that, you know, we won't just accept the funds and then not provide an equivalent amount of public safety services. So that was just the solution that we came up when we had that conversation with Frontier Days.
All right, thank you. Any questions or comments? All right, thank you, sir. Any further public comment in the room? Okay, Madam Clerk, any online? Okay, I'll entertain a motion, please.
Mr. Chair, I move to adopt.
Okay, is moved by Councilman Espo and seconded by Councilman Roybal. Any further discussion? Okay, all those approves, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, nay? Okay, the recommendation for Monday's meeting will be to adopt this resolution. Next item, please, Madam Clerk.
Number 18, resolution approving the budget of the Cheyenne Downtown Development Authority for fiscal year beginning July 1st, 2025 and ending June 30th, 2026. I'm sorry.
Staff report, please.
Hello, Chair through you, Sophia Mays, DDA Administrator for the record. My screen is about to share my presentation. This will be a similar presentation that I gave in the budget work session last Thursday with a small update to the staffing costs. So the budget for the DDA for the fiscal year 2026 is comprised, or excuse me, proposed budget is $728,450, which is $349,500 less, or $599 less than fiscal year 2025. We have an organization, an entity, or a staff member. We have two full-time, myself as the DDA administrator, Irene Parsons as the DDA operations coordinator. We are full-time and benefits. We have one part-time staff member, Mia DeBusk, and she is our DDA social media assistant. Our strategic goals for this fiscal year include working on the 15th Street experience. The DDA board has sent in a letter to council to support that project. We are also working on website updates and communications, resource repository, specifically data for not only to report our annual accomplishments, but also in terms of recruiting businesses and property investment in the downtown district. We are also helping with the downtown parking. We have the DDA board approved last Thursday to supplement the on-street parking design that the mayor's office is currently pursuing. And that's on-street design for all of the parking striping within the entirety of the downtown district. The implementation of that will be seen likely on a phased schedule, with likely the core being painted first. We're also focusing on streetscape and greenscape enhancements, planters and street fixtures downtown, and gateway enhancements and wayfinding signage. We also recognize that there is a gap in winter events and in visitation in the downtown during winter. So we are looking at how we can coordinate better with our partners for winter events. Operationally, very similar, mostly focusing on increasing capacity and our focus, our scope, and trying not to take on too much and stretching ourselves too thin. So looking at the budget, our total operating budget, like I said, was $728,450. We are anticipating a city contribution of $195,915. This is the change from the budget session last Thursday, and that is to reflect the change in the historical change. Last year, the administrator had a larger benefits package, and this is reflective of the benefits package that we have now. We also have a couple of line items that we're focusing on. The DDA board strategic projects, that's what's incorporated from the plan of development, specifically how we can improve wayfinding, parking, all of those things that I just spoke on. We have 100,000 total budgeted for that. For the communications plan, we have 10,000 total. This will change. I was advised by our city treasurer to wait until fiscal year 26 or until we have approved a vendor and the price of the vendor to change that, as it will likely be much higher, but we are not entirely sure what that price will be at this time. We also increased our sponsorship from last year from, or our proposed was 35,000, but we increased that to 45,000 this year in anticipation that we would sponsor events like Fridays on the Plaza, as well as some other community events this year. We are planning to keep about 785,000 in reserves in the event that the city DDA MOU does not continue, or, just as those reserves for staffing needs. So these changes reflect a 23,351 increase in the mill levy, which is what we're anticipating, for a total of 487,000. A 400 decrease in interest earned from the Wyoming Government Investment Fund. As of May 5th, there was a 4.21 7-day yield on that. And so we anticipate the interest amount to decrease. So total, there's a decrease of 349,599 of total operating budget. And that is simply because we're keeping more in reserves for this fiscal year. I stand for questions.
All right, thank you. Are there any questions?
Mr. Chair,
Go ahead.
yeah, through you. You said 785,000 is in reserves?
Chair, through you,
Total?
that's true.
Okay.
Any other questions, comments, or concerns? I do have a couple questions on the memo. It said for event management, Visit Cheyenne, sponsored events, 30,000 total. And then for July, Downtown Express Shuttle, $7,500. And it's saying between Downtown Cheyenne and Frontier Park. My question is, have you talked to any of the cab providers, Uber, Lyft drivers? Because some do have concern that's going to hit them with this. Have you talked to them at all about that?
Chair, we have not. This is a sponsorship we have with Visit Cheyenne for that program. Since we are not the event coordinators for that, we have not discussed that.
Okay, thank you. And then I'm looking at the next one. It's showing that there's 45,000 for downtown planner program. What is that exactly?
Chair, that is the planters that you see around the downtown district. They're the cement with the red bricks in there. That is to plant annual flowers throughout the downtown district. It's a beautification program that we have.
All right, and then my next question is, I heard at the DDA, they approved 16,000 for communications, saying 10,000. Is that a change, or is it just going to remain at 10,000?
Chair, they approved the release of the RFP for 60,000. And however, they did not approve a budget amendment. And the city treasurer advised me to wait until we have vendors selected to amend the budget for that.
All right, thank you. Any further questions or comments? All right, thank you, ma'am. Any further public comment? Madam Clerk, any online? Okay, I will entertain a motion.
Mr. Chair, I move to adopt.
Second.
It's been moved by Councilman Esposito, seconded by Councilman Roybal. Any further discussion?
Mr. Chair, it's not necessarily a budget issue, but to look forward to the summer season and events that we're having downtown. We're already planning ahead to work with the police department and community recreation events to use the new barricades we ordered, or will they be here by then?
Chair, through you, I am not sure at this time, but I will follow up and get you an answer at council. Thank you.
Any further comments? Okay, go those approve, vote aye.
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 All's opposed? Okay, it will be recommended at the Monday's meeting that we will adopt the resolution. Next item, please, Madam Clerk.
Number 20, resolution adopting a revised Cheyenne Laramie County Board of Health fee schedule for various services and inspections.
Staff report, please.
You have like a bag of name tags?
Staff report, please.
Good morning, Mr. Chair, members of the committee. I'm Kathy Emmons. In this capacity, I'm here as the Executive Director of the Cheyenne Laramie County Public Health. So what we are bringing to you today is a request for our increase of fees. By statute, we need to have both the county and the city approve any fee increase in environmental health. And I'm also providing an updated handout. So in the past, we've not raised fees since 2021. Traditionally, fees have been a flat rate across the board for every fee that we provide, or for every service we provide. And just to kind of give you a snapshot, our fees include inspections of restaurants, massage, body art, all food establishments, whether they be grocery store, mini mart, full service restaurants. We also do the small wastewater program, which is specific to septics and well inspections. And you can see on the list that I gave you, on the sheet I gave you, all of those. So I was challenged by the mayor 2 years ago to determine what it actually costs to do service, rather than just a flat rate increase. We took 1 year to do this. We started this process in March of 2024. And I just wanted to quickly review how we did that so you have a better feel for how we made these determinations. So the first thing we did was to determine the hourly cost of service provision. This included personnel, software, office and lab supplies, training, travel, utilities, postage, indirect costs, everything that it costs to do our business. And we arrived at a rate of $85 an hour. The second thing we did was to research what others in the area are doing. So Colorado, Nebraska, and Wyoming, how they were charging for environmental health inspections. And it was pretty much all over the place. There was no consistent fees. Some were higher, some were lower. The next thing we did was to determine how much time each of the inspection activities took and to be completed by the staff. And then we multiplied that times the $85 an hour. So it's based on actual time spent to conduct the service. We examined an appropriate cost sharing rate between the private business or homeowners and the city county fees that we get obviously from the city and the county. We looked at everything from a 50% split up to 100% split. What we settled on, and when I say we, I mean our board of the Cheyenne Laramie County Board of Health. We made the calculations all the way from 50 to 100. We settled on a 60% owner split, 40% city county contribution. So cost of doing business, we charge 60%. The city and county make up that additional 40%. We then analyzed the existing fees and compared it with the new fee estimation based on the actual cost of doing business. If the new rate was below the calculation based on the 60%, not 100%, we didn't do anything. If it was higher than the calculation, we raised those rates to the 60% of the actual cost. Excuse me. This resulted in increases in 15 inspection areas, ranging from $16 to $95. The 95 was for a multi-venue store, like a big grocery store. We then modified the plan review structure so that it's based on, again, actual time spent doing a review rather than just a flat rate, but that's a new way of doing business. The back page of the handout I gave you shows all the fees that did not increase. Far more did not increase than actually did. Let's see. We've completed the 45-day time period that was published. We received no comments from anyone in the city or the county. And the Laramie County Commissioners unanimously approved the fee increases on May 6, 2025. So now we are bringing those to the city for review and hopeful approval from this body. Thanks, stand for any questions.
All right, thank you. Any questions?
Through you, Mr. Chair,
Go ahead.
the campground temporary permit,
Mhm.
what would that apply to?
Mr. Chair, through you to Councilman Roybal, those are mainly like Frontier Days, when somebody just takes a small area of land and rents it out for camp space. So it's for a limited period of time.
Limited period of time?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Any further questions or comments?
To you, Mr. Chair.
Go ahead.
Dr. Edmonds, then how come they don't use the actual costs?
Mr. Chairman, through you, the actual cost to the business, I mean, like 100%.
Yes.
That's a great question. And we, like I said, we did look at 100%. It was determined by the Board of Health that that was too onerous on the business owners, and that they felt like the commitment that the city and county have made by memorandum of understanding throughout the years would be better used for the 40%.
Just to follow up, Mr. Chair, so then from all the providers, is the feedback you're hearing is that they feel that the 60%'s a good deal for them?
We've, Mr. Chairman, through you, we've not received any input on this at all.
But you will?
Oh, I'm sure we will.
Okay.
Yes.
Well, let us know. Thank you. That's all I have, Mr. Chair.
All right, thank you. Any other questions?
It-
Okay,
Mr.
Go
Chair,
ahead.
through you, just a quick one. Is this something that you're going to review every year? Or is this something that once we've done this, it'll sit that way for a length of time?
Mr. Chairman, through you, no, we will review this every year. I believe that we have a responsibility to make sure that we are being as responsible as possible with city, county, state, federal funds. So we do reviews on our environmental health fees and our nursing fees every year to make sure that they are appropriate and reasonable and responsible.
Thank you.
okay, any other questions or comments? Okay, I do have one question. You said you compared it to what they do in Nebraska and Colorado. Did you compare it to other counties like Albany, Natrona, Goshen, Platte?
Mr. Chair, through you, yes, as I said, we did Colorado, Wyoming, Nebraska. I think we even looked at South Dakota.
Okay, just to follow up, when you say Nebraska, was it mainly in the panhandle or was it the whole state?
Mr. Chair, it was mainly the panhandle.
Okay,
And I would also mention that in Nebraska, these fees are fully paid by the state. So Nebraska is really an outlier because we don't get any state funds for this.
all right, thank you. I do have another question. You said that you work with the board starting in March 2024. So when did when did you guys decide these were the final numbers?
Mr. Chair, we finalized this in April of 2025.
And just one more question. You said you've received no feedback from any food businesses or any of the grocery stores or Walmart, et cetera. Were they involved in the process at all? Did you invite them to like a public hearing?
We put this out across the city and the county for public notice, yes.
All right, thank you. All right, thank you. Is there any public comment on this? Any public comment? Is there anybody online, Madam Clerk? All right, I will entertain a motion.
Mr. Chair, I move to adopt.
Second.
It has been moved by Councilman Roybal and seconded by Councilman Escabel. Any further comments? Okay, all those who approve, say aye.
Aye.
All those against, say nay. Okay, it will be recommended to Monday's meeting to adopt this resolution. Next item, please, Madam Clerk.
Number 21, resolution to temporarily reduce the monthly parking fee at the Jack C. Spiker parking structure effective July 1st, 2025 through June 30th of 2026.
Staff report, please.
Thank you, Chairman Moody. Dr. Michelle Aldrich, Ward 3 City Council, providing the staff report today on behalf of the council members who are working on this resolution. This resolution is coming to as a result of interactions we've had with downtown business owners who came forward with a list of items they believe will help to enhance the downtown business economic landscape. There's been a lot of discussion about the Spiker Garage, and we are only talking about the Spiker Garage specifically because of safety concerns and public perception, which we all know can be much more powerful than reality. There's been a lot of work done by Mr. Sanchez at the Community Rec and Events Department to try and address a lot of those concerns. Things like lowering the lighting, which I think many of you saw the before and after pictures that he provided during the budget session, including more commonly patrolling that, moving fire department vehicles over to the parking garage to be parked there so that we're hoping to increase the foot traffic. This resolution is a 1-year resolution. It would be reevaluated at the end of 12 months. We have received information from our city treasurer, Robin Lockman, that all of you should have received an email on May 12th from her. And she believed that the decrease from taking this parking monthly permit fee from $45 to $30 would be an annual decrease of $73,305. And that's based on the 4,887 active paid permits that she had reported to her as of May 12th, times the $15 amount that we're recommending as a reduction. The idea would be to increase the traffic in the parking garage and offset that decrease in fees. But again, this is a 1-year experiment to see if we can increase the traffic in the parking garage, which would result, we believe, in a belief that and a perception by the public that the Spiker parking garage is safer or more safe to park in than it had been previously with more activity going on in there. And with that, I would stand for questions.
All right, thank you. Are there any questions?
Yeah, Mr. Chair.
Go ahead.
Yep, through you, Dr. Aldrich, on the monthly permits, the 4,442, those predominantly people that work in downtown, and these are 8 to 5ers.
Yeah, that's a really interesting question through you, Councilman Moody, to Councilman Esquivel. Those monthly permits that are purchased, those 4,442 actually represent a variety of individuals in the downtown area. Some that live downtown, some that work downtown. You probably remember that a couple of years ago, we were led to believe that there were actually some large contracts with entities like Department of Environmental Quality. As of the report that we received from the parking administrator, there are currently no contracts. These are all basically a month-to-month permitting process that happens. We did ask for an unduplicated or an individual number of individuals that are purchasing those, and received a number of 319. I'm looking, Captain James. 1,187 individuals that are not duplicated. So.
Mr. Chair, I think she answered my second question because I was going to ask about the contracts, but there's no contracts. Okay.
No.
Any other questions, comments, or concerns? I just have one question. Do most of the downtown businesses support this?
Yeah, Chairman Moody, the downtown business owners that I've been in contact with are in support of this. They think that it's a worthy effort to try and see if it makes a difference. If it doesn't make a difference, I I think all of them understand that we have a bond that we need to pay on this parking structure and that we need to be able to make that payment. And so that's why the 1-year sunset is on this, to see if this will actually increase that participation in the parking garage permits.
All right, thank you.
I did have a phone.
All right, go ahead, sir.
Okay, Mr. Chair, through you. So it's for the treasurer. The profits that we make on the Spiker Garage, do they go directly toward paying the bond, or do they go into the general fund and then flow back into the fund that we pay the bonds with?
Chairman, through Brenda Morrell, through you, they go into the general fund.
All right. Thank you.
All right, any further questions or comments?
I did have another comment or question. It may be more for the police department or parking division. Of the other permitted parking lots that we have in the downtown area, do we have an idea of who actually is in charge of those? I know I've seen a couple that the Plains Hotel has, a couple other businesses, but I don't have any information on how many parking spaces there are in those lots and who actually has those permits.
Mr. Chairman, through you, Captain David James, Cheyenne Police Department. I don't have that information either. I can't say that the study done by the MPO several years back, it counted the downtown available spots, and I believe it also included the off-street parking. So yeah, that's about the only place I can think of that there might be data on that. I'll take a look and send it to you if it's in there.
Okay, the one I was really curious about was the parking lot that's just east of the depot. Okay, then you have the UP employees parking. The one that's just east of that has a Plains Hotel parking only sign on it. I thought that was city property. So is the city leasing that to the Plains, or? And there's hardly ever any cars in there. Every now and then I might see a tour bus in there, but usually it's fairly empty.
Mr. Chairman, through you, I'll have to look into that and figure that out, who actually runs that parking lot. That does not fall under the parking division.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions or comments? Any other public comment? Any public comment? Anybody on Zoom, Madam Clerk?
Yep, we have Corey. You should be able to unmute yourself.
Okay. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Corey Lothry, downtown business owner. I just wanted to represent the downtown community first in thanking the council for their continued focus on downtown and willingness to consider experimenting with the fees. I do want to say that we have established what we're calling a good neighbor program, because we think that a parking program has many components. And the first we thought was the on-street parking. The next we've been tackling is the Spiker Garage. And in that effort, we are monitoring what we believe are abusers of on-street parking and visiting with them face to face, encouraging them to be good neighbors and park in the garage. So our hope is that perhaps with an experiment with a lower fee and our efforts to visit with the few abusers that exist downtown, is that we can push more people to the garage and possibly decrease the revenue loss as well. Thank you.
All right, thank you, ma'am. Any questions or comments? All right, any other public comment through Zoom, Madam Clerk? Okay, I will entertain a motion, please.
Mr. Chair, I move to adopt.
Second.
Okay, it's been moved by Councilman Escabel and seconded by Councilman Roybal. Any further discussion? All right, all those who approve, say aye.
Aye.
All those against? Okay, the recommendation from tonight's meeting will be to adopt. Next item, please, Madam Clerk.
Number 24A, professional services agreement between the City of Cheyenne and GLM Design Group LLC for a feasibility study, benefit cost analysis, and preliminary design of the Cheyenne Dry Creek Union Pacific Railroad project from the 2023 to 2026 optional 1% sales tax and FEMA BRIC grant.
Staff report, please.
Good afternoon, West Bay Engineering. Before you is a contract between the city and GLM Design Group for a flood control project in the Dry Creek Drainage Basin. In particular, it is located east of town at the Union Pacific Railroad and Dry Creek. This was listed as a top priority project in the updated Dry Creek Master Plan. With a significant rain event, stormwater impounds against the railroad embankment and is slowly released through an undersized culvert. The failure of the embankment could be quite catastrophic for downtown industrial property, city streets, the railroad, and I-80. The project consists of a feasibility study to evaluate several different alternatives to come to a solution to this problem, a benefit cost analysis for the preferred alternative. And if the benefits outweigh the costs with respect to the construction of the projects, we'll move forward with the 30% set of design plans. Also, if the BCA, the benefit cost analysis, is greater than 1, we'll also include the preparation of a FEMA grant to help finish paying for the additional design of the project. The total project cost is $246,974.80. This is funded through a FEMA Building Resilient Infrastructure in Communities BRIC grant and Fifth Penny Drainage Funds. Respectfully ask for approval of this contract, and I'm available for any questions.
All right, thank you. Any questions or comments? I do have one question. Do we have UP's permission to do this?
Chair, that will be part of the project, is working with the Union Pacific Railroad.
And just to follow up, I noticed on where it says Exhibit A scope of work, it says all sub-consultant fees at cost, which may include, these are in addition costs, geotechnical investigation, surveying, utility investigation, other items, overtime engineering inspections, special inspections include vacuum, excavation, potholing, survey materials, stakes, etc., additional required services. I'm just curious why that's out of this main contract here.
Chair, this would be to obtain all the required information to be able to go and actually go through the feasibility study and the benefit cost analysis, and then to get to the 30% design plans.
All right, thank you. Go ahead.
Yeah, Mr. Chair, through you, it's actually more of a benefit to Union Pacific. They've consistently have had to go in and reinforce that area with additional ballast, and then the costs that they're spending to keep those tracks stable through that area, and prevent derailments is probably much more beneficial to them than us. But I know when you said catastrophic, anytime they use the term train wreck in the corporate world, it's I've seen how terrible they are in the real world. So yeah.
All right. Any other questions or comments? All right, thank you, sir. Any other public comment? Okay, Madam Clerk, any on Zoom? Okay, I will go ahead and entertain a motion.
Mr. Chairman, I move to approve in an amount not to exceed $246,974.80.
Second.
It has been moved by Councilman Roybal, seconded by Councilman Escabel. Any further comments or questions?
Just one question, Wes. What do we get for the 80 cents?
That's what? A picture of the consultant through you,
Okay.
Chair.
Sorry?
Through you.
Okay.
Yeah.
I do have one further thing for a vote, but again, it's not in writing. We have permission from Union Pacific. Is that correct?
Chair, we have not contacted Union Pacific about this yet.
All right, thank you. Any further comments or questions? Okay, all those approved, please say aye.
Aye.
All those against? The recommendation for Monday's meeting will be to approve an amount not to exceed $246,974.80. Next item, please, Madam Clerk.
Number 24B, Memorandum of Understanding between the City of Cheyenne and the State of Wyoming Department of State Parks and Cultural Resources, Division of State Parks, Historic Sites and Trails to set forth the terms and conditions under which the agency will oversee and disperse legislatively approved funding to the city to provide qualified project management for the High Plains Arboretum Rehabilitation Project. Revenue to the city.
Staff report, please.
Mr. Chair, Jason Sanchez, Community Rec and Events. I think the introduction pretty much summarizes the MOU. I think you're all pretty well familiar with this and that we've been working on it with the state for quite some time. I do have Carly Ann Crothers with the Wyoming State Parks and Cultural Resources here with me today, and we're available for questions.
Any questions or comments?
Mr. Chair, through you.
Go ahead.
What would be one of the top 2 or 3 projects out there that we're going to be looking at taking care of first?
Mr. Chair, through you to Councilman Escobar. We're looking at designing an irrigation system to irrigate all of the trees. So a drip irrigation versus the current flood irrigating method that we use. We would look at renovating the lath house, maybe some renovations to the greenhouse and some repairs to the roof and the windows of the head house.
And the follow-up, Mr. Chair, through you, the greenhouse currently operational?
Mr. Chair, through you, it is not.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, any other questions or comments?
Through you, Mr. Chairman.
Go ahead.
With, assuming this goes through, when does it start? When do we break ground on anything?
Mr. Chair, through you to Councilman Roybal. Once this is approved, we are in the process now of getting quotes for the asbestos and lead abatement, as well as fees for design work. Once we have the design, then we'll go out to bid for the work.
Thank you.
Any other questions or comments? I do have one question. I thought there was a bill brought before the legislature and it died in committee. So I'm just curious where this money is coming from. Was this from the State Appropriations Committee or was it a line item budget, another bill? I'm just curious where the money's coming from.
Mr. Chair, through you, I'm going to go ahead and ask Carly Ann to answer that question. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes, Chairman, I'm Carly Ann Carruthers. I'm the Planning Manager for State Parks and Cultural Resources.
Afternoon.
Good afternoon. So yes, you are correct that there has been a bill brought both in the 2024 budget session and in this most recent 2025 session that would have provided management control to State Parks and Cultural Resources to then assist with the city projects. That budget or the bill itself failed, but the budget allocation was put through by Representative Nicholas in the 24 session remains. So that is where the funds for this existing MOU are coming from.
Any questions or comments? All right, thank you,
Thank
man.
you.
Appreciate it. Any further public comment? Okay, is there anybody online, Madam Clerk? Okay, I'll entertain a motion.
Mr. Chair, I move to approve in the amount not to exceed $3,323,757.
Second.
Okay, it's been moved by Councilman Escabel, seconded by Councilman Roybal. Any further questions or comments? All right, all those approved, say aye.
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 All those against, nay. Okay, the recommendation for Monday's meeting will be to approve in an amount not to exceed $3,323,757.00. Madam Clerk, next item, please.
Number 24C, Professional Services Agreement between the City of Cheyenne, Cheyenne Metropolitan Planning Organization, and Fieldsburg, Holt, and Ulvig for the Safe Streets for All Comprehensive Safety Action Plan from 2021 Specific Purpose Option Tax Fund and the Federal Highway Administration SS4A grant.
Staff report, please. Madam Clerk, if there's no staff report, does that have to be moved to the following Finance Committee?
I'm sorry, that would be my recommendation.
Okay. What do other members of the Finance Committee?
With postponing it, I'm sorry, through you, Mr. Chair, with postponing it 2 weeks.
You also could do that. I do believe, and don't quote me, but I think this might be up at the commissioners today too. So I'm not sure if that got confused with the timing. But you could do it either way. You could postpone it, or we could just keep it off the consent agenda.
All right, what's the pleasure?
Mr. Chair,
Okay, we need a motion.
Okay, go ahead.
Mr. Chair, I'd move to postpone for 2 weeks.
You did.
I just did. Yeah, Mr. Chairman, I moved to postpone for 2 weeks. Oh,
Oh, okay.
Mr. Chair, I move to approve.
Second.
Mr. Chair, I move to postpone for 2 weeks.
Okay, the postponement moves, does not move forward because of lack of a second.
Mr. Chair. Based on what we've heard that the commissioner gonna be hearing it, and also since it's a Federal Highway Administration grant, I think that's probably the better action would be to pass this and see what the commissioners do. And then when we take it off, pull it off consent agenda at Tuesday's meeting, if we'll have more information, and the MPO can also, well, request that they're here for that meeting.
Okay. Any further comments?
Mr. Chairman, I'm sorry to interrupt, but I did have the other Cheyenne Zoom account raise their hand, so I'm not sure if that is the MPO. Would you like to allow those folks to speak?
They can speak. Go ahead.
Cheyenne Zoom, you should be able to unmute yourself.
Hi, this is Charles Bloom. I'm sorry, I didn't know I was logged in on the Cheyenne Zoom account. That must be left over from earlier with a different meeting. Typically, the MPO does present this item, and I will ask them to be present at Tuesday's meeting to provide details on what this program is. But this is, as stated, a federal grant that's a pass-through through the MPO. So I will make sure that they're there to describe this project.
All right, thank you.
Second.
So just to be clear, we have a motion and a second. If you'd like to keep it off consent agenda, we could have a no vote, which would keep it off automatically. Or if you vote to make the recommendation, it would be on the consent agenda.
Thank you, Madam Clerk.
Mr. Chair, we can just pull it off the consent agenda on Tuesday.
Okay. All right. All right, so all those in favor, please vote aye.
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 All those opposed? Okay, so the recommendation for Monday's meeting will be to approve an amount not to exceed $250,000, but as we heard, it will be pulled off the consent agenda. Next item, please, Madam Clerk.
Number 25A, renewal of contract number 7535 between the City of Cheyenne and Blue Cross Blue Shield of Wyoming for third-party administrator services and group health insurance benefits for city employees from various city funds.
Go ahead, staff report.
Mr. Chair, Darren Haas, Human Resources Director and Chair of the Employee Benefit Advisory Team. We're recommending Blue Cross as our TPA administrator. We have enjoyed a 6-year partnership with Blue Cross of Wyoming and truly appreciate their expanded healthcare network and their tiered system. Novo Benefits is also here with me. They've done the heavy lifting on looking at other providers, vendors for bids, and the recommendation is to go with Blue Cross once again. And just to put a broader brush swope on the project of self-funded, we're now, I know Mr. Esco may wonder, we're now sitting at 4.37 million in our healthcare account. Healthcare is our number 2 largest expense right behind labor. So this committee takes a lot of pride and time to review this and to try to find the right rates, the best insurance we can carry over for our employees. And I can stand for any questions.
All right, are there any questions from members of the committee?
Mr. Chair, through you.
Go ahead.
With Novo Benefits has been with us for how long?
They're on 5 years now.
And we have had no significant increases in health insurance in those 5 years, have we?
Through you, Mr. Chair, it's very, very minimal. If you look at other organizations, the healthcare has really grown. They've done a hell of a job keeping it where it is.
Okay, well, let's keep.
Please.
Any further questions or comments?
Mr. Chair, through you.
Go ahead.
Last week when we were having the benefits giving us a review in the conference room next door, you have an idea how many employees were able to attend? I know one day was when the power went out, and are we going to have any follow-ups?
Through you, Mr. Chair. We did 6 sessions. One was canceled. We did 5 sessions. We had 35 employees show up and a lot of phone calls coming in. Open enrollment kicked off May 15th. We've already had 120 employees enroll. So it's high usage right now. I'd love to see that much participation early on.
35 employees, that doesn't sound like a whole lot for 5 sessions. So gonna offer some more opportunities for employees to have those sessions where they can come in and get some more information or ask questions.
Through you, Mr. Chair. Yeah, we also have the IT lab reserved for 6 more locations, 6 more time slots for employees to actually come ask questions and enroll at the same time in case they need some help, or they can bring a spouse in.
Okay, good. Thank you.
Any further questions or comments? All right, thank you, sir. Any further public comment? Anybody online for public comment, Madam Clerk? All right, I'll entertain a motion.
Mr. Chair, I move to approve.
Second.
It has been moved by Councilman Roybal and second by Councilman Espo. Any further discussion? All right, all those approve, vote aye.
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 Anybody against, nay? Okay, the recommendation for Monday's meeting will be to approve this contract. Next item, please, Madam Clerk.
Number 25B, renewal of contract number 6837 between the City of Cheyenne and Delta Dental for group dental insurance benefits for city employees from various city funds.
Staff report, please.
Mr. Chair, Darren Haas, Human Resources and Chair of the Employee Benefit Advisory Team. We're recommending Delta Dental as our dental network. We've enjoyed a long partnership with Delta Dental and look forward to another year of great service. Again, Novo Benefits was very instrumental in getting bids and researching. And it's a unanimous recommendation to go for your request to use Delta Dental one more year. Thank you.
All right, any questions or comments from committee?
Mr. Chair.
Go ahead.
Is that the dental part of it's staying 4.6 million that we have in reserve, or is that separate?
Through you, Mr. Chair, that is separate. The 4.6 is just the self-health care fund.
So what do we have a fund that shows any balances in that or just expenses?
Through you, Mr. Chair, that's just going to be expenses. It's a 6% increase and it's just based on if it's a per employee and spouse, per employee and family. So it's a varying cost of how much that's going to be. But it is a 6% increase from last year.
Okay, thank you.
Any further questions or comments? All right, thank you again, sir. Any further public comment? Madam Clerk, anybody on Zoom? Okay, I'll entertain a motion, please.
Mr. Chair, I move to approve.
Second.
It has been moved by Councilman Espo, second by Councilman Roybal. Any further questions or comments?
Just a quick question for Mr. Haas. Does the contracts that we with both the Blue Cross Blue Shield and Delta Dental, do they both spell out that we keep our consultants?
Through you, Mr. Chair, no,
That's a separate
we have a separate contract. We have a 3-year contract with Novo Benefits, and so that will come due next year.
Okay,
So we'll definitely be back next year asking again.
perfect. Thank you.
All right. Any further comments? Okay, Okay, all those approved, please say aye.
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 All those against? Okay, the recommendation for Monday's meeting will be to approve this contract. Madam Clerk, next item, please.
Number 26F, consideration of bid number S-16-25 for an agreement between the City of Cheyenne and Simon Contractors for the 2025 Dell Range Overlay Project from the 2021 Specific Purpose Option Tax Fund.
Staff report, please.
Good afternoon, Mr. Chair and members of the committee. Doug Klon, City Construction Manager. Before you today and for your consideration is the contract proposal between the City of Cheyenne and Simon Contractors for the Delray paving project. The extents of this project are from Marble Avenue to Powder House Road. And this project is an important part of our pavement management program. We did receive 4 bids for this project, with Simon Contractors being the low bid at $3,237,507.80. This does include the maximum performance incentive of $100,000. Staff has reviewed this project and it is our recommendation that we proceed with the approval of this contract. And I'll stand for questions.
All right, any questions or comments from committee?
Yes, Mr. Chair.
Mhm.
Mr. Khan, are we gonna be doing some of this work at night?
Through you, Mr. Chair, the Simon Contractors did not elect to do any of this work at night. We left that as optional for the contractors so that we were able to get possibly a more competitive bid and not dictate their means and methods.
I see. Okay.
Any other questions or comments? All right, thank you, sir. Any other public comment? Any other public comment? Madam Clerk, anybody on Zoom? Okay, I'll entertain a motion.
Mr. Chair, I move to accept the bid not to exceed $3,237,502.80.
I'm sorry?
No, I just,
He wants to know what they're gonna do with the 80 cents.
Yeah.
it's a picture of Doug this time.
Our motion, is there a second, please?
Second.
Okay, so it's been moved by Councilman Escabel, seconded by Councilman Royball. Any further discussion? Okay, all those in favor, please say aye.
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 All those against? The recommendation for Monday's meeting will be to accept the bid in amount not to exceed $3,237,502.80. This concludes the agenda of the Finance Committee. Have a good day, and our city council meeting will be meeting on Tuesday because of Memorial Day on Monday. Have a good day, everyone.
Marbell. It'll be a long days on that road.
Tuesday.